Right, so final day of the week. This is your squat and move day, and this is all about opening up the hips, activating your glutes, so we get those glutes nice and strong and fired up, ready to take the weight onto your back and protect that lower back. So moving from downstream to upstream, this is piece number one. This is your ankle mobility. So a lot of the reasons why people can't hit depth is because their ankles, in terms of their dorsiflexion ability, are pretty stiff. Now you've got a standing variation, which I'll show you first of all, or I'll show you something that replicates the bottom position of your squat. So you've got two choices here. Now, resistance band around the ankle, we need to make sure this is right down at the bottom of the ankle. So those two bony prominences on the inside and the outside, it almost sits just below those two bony prominences. Step away from the anchor for the resistance band, put some pressure on the band to keep it nice and low, and then what we're going to do is, keeping the knee over the toe, we're going to do a lunge forwards. So all the time we're trying to make sure our knee stays in good alignment, hips forwards. So that's variation number one. Now if you want to do something that replicates your squat position, your squat pattern more so, we're going to take ourselves into a lunge, and again think about keeping the band nice and low. We're going to do our ankle mobility in that position. Now, the thicker the resistance band, the more backwards pull there is going to be on the tibia, which is what we're trying to mobilise. We're going to spend 30 seconds on the right side, 30 seconds on the left side, in either position, and that's piece number one. So you might be wondering why I have an Olympic bar resting on the back of my calves. Well, this is piece number two. So this is about opening up the front of the ankles and opening up the knees. The bar behind the back of the knee creates what we call a flexion gapping movement. So it basically creates or reduces any stiffness into that knee joint. Now if you're pretty immobile, you might find that just camping out in that position is enough of a stretch for you to start to feel everything start to open up. Assuming you can take yourself right back, what we can then do is just gently rock from side to side. You'll feel it in the back of the knees, you'll feel it in the calves, and we're going to spend 30 seconds rocking from side to side in this position, trying to open up the knees, open up the front of the ankles, and that is piece number two. Right, piece number three, working upstream now, into the hips. So this is your banded hip distraction. So a green band attached to your power rack, hopefully that's bolted to the floor and it's not going to topple on top of you. Walk forwards, take yourself down into your lunge position, and then we're going to spend some time working through some different ranges of movement. Now you can keep this really simple. We could lunge forwards and backwards. We could drop down into a position where we're trying to open up a little bit and push the knee out into external rotation. We could come into this position, arms above the head, and again work through from there. We could change the band angle, so we might want to pull slightly from a slightly lateral perspective, and again working through trying to open up the hip, creating some space in the hip joints so that you're ready to drop into your bottom position on your squat. So 30 seconds right side, 30 seconds left side, and that's piece number three.